2013, then Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad embarks on a tour of 3 African countries, namely Benin, Nigeria and Ghana. 10 years later, and the transition from West to East Africa, a case of deja vu, is here. Iran's now President Ibrahim Raisi embarked on a 3-country tour of Africa that started on Wednesday, July 12, 2023. He visited Kenya, Uganda and Zimbabwe in what was the first visit by an Iranian leader to the continent in over a decade. The trip came as Iran sought to diversify its economic ties and strengthen its political relations in the face of crippling US sanctions. But why did Raisi choose these 3 countries in particular? And what did he hope to achieve from his visit? And is this part of a wider geopolitical plan against the West? All these questions we will find out in this video. Before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to Habari Tech for weekly content exploring Africa's geopolitics. The first stop on Raisi's tour was Kenya, East Africa's economic powerhouse and a strategic partner for Iran. Kenya is one of the largest importers of Iranian tea and also a potential market for Iranian products such as cars, pharmaceuticals and petrochemicals. Raisi and his Kenyan counterpart, William Ruto, signed 5 memorandums of understanding related to information technology, fisheries, livestock products and investment promotion. Raisi also announced Iran's plans to establish a manufacturing plant for Iranian vehicles in Kenya's port city of Mombasa. Raisi referred to Africa as a continent of opportunities during a press briefing in Nairobi, emphasizing Iran's desire to expand its trade and cooperation with African countries. He also praised Kenya's role in regional peace and security and expressed Iran's readiness to share its experience and expertise in combating terrorism and extremism. The second stop on Raisi's tour was Uganda, a landlocked country in East Africa that has maintained friendly relations with Iran despite US pressure. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni, a US ally on security matters, has previously voiced support for Iran's nuclear program, emphasizing the right of sovereign countries to pursue peaceful nuclear activities. Uganda is also seeking to establish a nuclear power plant with technical support from the China National Nuclear Corporation. Raisi and Museveni discussed ways to enhance bilateral cooperation in various fields such as energy, agriculture, health, education and tourism. Raisi thanked Museveni for his stance on Iran's nuclear rights and condemned the US sanctions as unjust and illegal. The third and final stop on Raisi's tour was Zimbabwe, a southern African country that is also under US sanctions for alleged human rights violations and electoral fraud. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has expressed solidarity with Iran.
Western sanctions are talking to each other
and resisting US pressure, and called for closer cooperation between the 2 countries. A ministerial delegation from Zimbabwe visited Tehran earlier this year to explore areas of cooperation such as petroleum trade. Raisi and Mnangagwa held talks on how to boost trade and investment between their countries, especially in the fields of mining, agriculture, industry and infrastructure. They also discussed ways to enhance political coordination and cooperation within international organizations such as the Non-Aligned Movement and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Raisi praised Zimbabwe's resistance against foreign interference and said Iran was ready to share its scientific and technological achievements with Zimbabwe and find new markets for its products amid US sanctions that have crippled its economy. It is also seeking to strengthen its political alliances and gain support for its nuclear program from countries that share its anti-imperialist stance. Also offering its assistance and expertise in various fields to African countries that are facing similar challenges. But how will this affect Africa? It could mean more trade opportunities and investment projects for the African countries that are willing to cooperate with Iran. It could also mean more access to Iranian technology and know-how in areas such as energy, health, education and security. But it could also mean more pressure from the US and its allies who are opposed to Iran's nuclear ambitions. Iran's rivals are the US's allies. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, and France would most likely not favour Iran strengthening its influence in these African countries. What do you think? Do you think Raisi's visit to Africa was a success or a failure? Do you think it will benefit or harm the African countries involved? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please also consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel, Habari Tech, your hub for African economics. Thank you.